Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I'm down here. I'm down here. I'm gonna do another one of these. Another one of these brackets. God, they're addictive. I'm addicted. Better call a doctor for me because I am addicted to these freaking brackets. They're fun. It's a fun time. It's like a bad Facebook questionnaire, you know? But just for music nerds, I guess. All right. So we're doing the Kendrick Madness, the Kendrick Lamar bracket. Gonna find out what I think the best Kendrick Lamar is, best Kendrick Lamar song amongst all of these tracks. Woo, woo. I mean, you guys already know previously what my favorite records of his are. You've seen my reviews, you've seen the scores. But I still feel like he's got a lot of great, amazing songs on every album. It could be any song's game. So I guess let's get into it. Starting in the upper left quadrant, let's just finish entire quadrants and just go around counterclockwise. All right, kicking it off with Humble and Keisha's song. Keisha's song is easily one of the better sort of, I guess, more conscious and narrative-based tracks off of Section 80. Humble's a great banger. It's a good banger. One of the best bangers he's ever come out with. But honestly, I just feel like it's overplayed. I feel like it's overhyped. I feel like it's overrated, generally. I'm going to give it to Keisha's song. To me, it's the more meaningful track. It's the more significant track. To me, the statement that Kendrick makes on that song is going to last a long time. Whereas Humble, it's one of his more surface level songs in terms of its meaning, and mostly just the beat and the sound of the track is trendy. It's catchy, but I don't know. It's definitely not as gratifying emotionally or conceptually to me as Keisha's song. You know, don't write off Keisha's song. It's a great track. It's a thoughtful track about femininity, sexuality, youth. He says a lot of interesting things on that track. All right, next we have two great Good Kid, Mad City tracks going head to head. Really early on, we have "Sing About Me," "Dying of Thirst," "The Art of Peer Pressure," two of the most significant, meaningful, fantastically written, produced, and rapped tracks on the entire record. It's so hard to pick. I guess at the end of the day, narrative-wise, as far as concept goes, I'm gonna go with "Sing About Me." I mean, not only does it kind of reference back to some of that material on Section 80, we were just talking about Keisha's song, but also I feel like I don't know, it's just a really intriguing song with the multiple voices and characters throughout the track, kind of fading out or falling victim to their choices and their bad decisions, and definitely one of the better sung hooks that Kendrick has pulled out. It's an odd little track, but God, it packs an emotional punch. So that's my thoughts on that. We're gonna leave it at that. Next, I am going to put "Pride" over the "Spiteful Chant." Not either of my favorite tracks on either project. I just prefer "Pride" a little bit more. I think Kendrick has, I guess, a more interesting concept on that track. And ADHD going up against maybe my least favorite track on Good Kid, Mad City, "Real," mostly because I find the vocals on that track, I'm real, I'm really, really real, just a little grating. So I kind of put ADHD over that. We have God, my least favorite song, possibly. No, maybe second least favorite song on "Damn," going up against "You," one of my favorite cuts off of "To Pimp a Butterfly," so there's really no contest there. Poetic Justice and Untitled '08 was not really a hard pick either, as to me, '08 is not really one of the most significant tracks on Untitled Unmastered. Still a great record, but the very smooth, catchy, dreamy, intoxicating instrumental on there. The Drake feature that has grown on me over the years. Kendrick Lamar's lyrics It's just a really lovely song. Blood and Hole Up was kind of a no contest kind of thing. Like Blood is just merely a an intro track. I mean, it definitely sets the tone for Damn, but to me, Hole Up is obviously the superior song. And while I love Fuck Your Ethnicity, you cannot really fuck with the King Kunta instrumental. Like, Jesus Christ. The instrumental on that record is incredible. The guitar licks, the those sparkling little guitar leads, that drum groove, that bass line, Kendrick Lamar's raspy, badass vocals all over that track. His refrains, it's so catchy and exciting. You can't really write off King Kunta. I think King Kunta to me just kind of beats out every song on Section 80. Actually, now that I think about it, so I mean, again, really kind of no contest. So with saying that, obviously King Kunta beats out Hole Up. I ended up going with You over Poetic Justice because You is so much more of an amazing vocal performance from Kendrick. I mean, that song is just so fucking much, from the narrative of the track to some of the sound effects on the song. Excuse me. Basically the way Kendrick is kind of tearing himself apart emotionally on the track. There's just so much going on that song that it's just too much to even go over in brief in this one little part of this video. Moving on from there, I went with Pride over ADHD because it's much more emotionally potent in my opinion. And I ended up going with Sing About Me over Keisha's Song, just because, again, if we're talking mere concept back and forth, even though Sing About Me is kind of based off of the previous track, I do think it is the better, more ambitious, and more interesting track. Kendrick Lamar, in pretty much every way, shape, and form, like, improved on all fronts on Good Kid, Mad City. So there's not much material on Section 80, in my opinion, that beats out Good Kid, Mad City, but past that, I ended up going with Sing About Me against Pride. Whoop. Losing my way here. There we go. And King Kunta and You was one of the more difficult choices I had to make in this entire thing. I thought about it long and hard. Which do I prefer more? Do I prefer the conceptuality, the theatrical performance? Kendrick is like basically a top tier actor on this fucking track. Do I go with that, or do I go with the incredibly catchy, thrilling, groovy, and instrumentally exciting King Kunta? And I ended up going with Kunta. I did end up going with Kunta. It just I could not say no to that instrumental. I just could not. And finally, for the end of that bracket, I went with Kunta. So there we go. There's pretty much the end of that bracket. In the bottom left, in the Compton section, we had Mad City. Maybe my favorite track off of Good Kid, Mad City. I love Kendrick's story on that song. I love how he shifts from an older version of himself to a younger version. Love the beat switch. Love Kendrick's voice inflections on the track. There's not really anything I don't love about this song. It's one of his hardest, grittiest, most instantly catchy, and simultaneously thoughtful tracks he's ever recorded. So, of course, I went with that over PNP 1.5. I mean, it's really kind of no contest. Went with Rigor Mortis over the Heart Part 4. I do like the Heart Part 4, but Rigor Mortis to me is a more solid Section 80 track. I love the, if I remember correctly, the jazzy horns all over that track. Love Kendrick's flow and some of his hilarious lyrics on that song. Ended up going with Good Kid over Lust. Lust is one of the better tracks on Damn, but in my opinion, not as exciting as Good Kid. Hey, baby. Ended up going with Backseat Freestyle over Mama because it is just an impossibly amazing banger. And at the end of the day, an essential part of the character portrait of a young Kendrick on Good Kid, Mad City. Mama's great, but to me it's more of a low tier TPAB track, not one of my favorite tracks on the record. Ended up going with Untitled '03 over Duckworth, interestingly enough. Well, actually, no. Let me think about that. Let me think about that. I honestly, I think I'm going to go Duckworth with it. I'm going to go Duckworth with it because the story on Duckworth, it is good. It's not the best instrumentally, but neither is '03. And for as disheveled and as inconsistent as I think Damn is, I do think Duckworth does a good job of kind of tying things up, a little bit, and kind of bringing things back home, bringing things back to a personal place for Kendrick, and making a statement as well on coincidences, on serendipity, I guess, and mortality as well. I'll go with Duckworth. I think that's the more significant track. It's funny. This is maybe the second time I've actually gone against the original picks I had, so I'm actually like still kind of figuring this out too. But honestly, I don't want to bore everyone by going too deep into it, or torture myself trying to pick the right one, trying to pick the perfect one. Because honestly, at this point in the bracket, I feel like you could pick a lot of different things. Ultimately, what's going to happen is the cream is going to rise to the top. Your favorite tracks are going to be your favorite tracks no matter what you pick in the first round. Moving on from there, I went with Ronald Reagan era over Money Trees. To me, just a grittier, more interesting track off of Section 80. Whereas Money Trees, to me, it's kind of like it's a pretty psychedelic, nice little interlude on the album. Definitely not as urgent as Ronald Reagan era. And of course, with Blacker the Berry and Hood Politics, two very good TPAB tracks that I hate to see go up against each other so early in the bracket, but yeah, I had to go with the Blacker the Berry. To me, one of the best and most hard-hitting tracks Kendrick has ever done. One of my favorite tracks off TPAB in general. And ended up going with No Makeup over All the Stars. I'm not really that into All the Stars. To me, it's a little overproduced. And while No Makeup is maybe trying a little hard to appeal to, to me it was like maybe a more well-put version of like that line in Humble when he's like, I want ass with some stretch marks. That sort of thing. Whereas a lot of people could say, well, what if people want to wear makeup? What if they want to wear makeup? Why are you so judgy? Obviously, people are entitled to that opinion, but still, I think it's a better track, and I still think the positive intentions of the song are there. Honestly, even if you don't agree with how Kendrick may have put it on the song. Of course, with again Mad City being one of my favorite tracks off of Good Kid, Mad City, it beat out Rigor Mortis. Ended up going with Backseat Freestyle over Good Kid. Ended up going with Duckworth over Ronald Reagan era and Blacker the Berry over No Makeup. Past that, of course, the weight of Blacker the Berry just crushes Duckworth. What that song is instrumentally, what that song says about race in America, and also within the confines of TPAB as a record about realizing oneself, finding self-esteem, and empowerment in one's identity. That's a pretty significant track. And of course, my favorability toward Mad City beat out Backseat Freestyle. Now I've basically found myself in a conundrum where two of my favorite Kendrick tracks ever are facing off, and it's just like, why did it have to be this way? Why did it have to be this way? Because I fucking love The Blacker the Berry. I fucking love Mad City. I did already pick my pick previously, but it's still hard to repeat it once again because I do think both tracks are so fantastic. But I went with Mad City, and I just I'm gonna repeat it here because again, I guess conceptually and instrumentally, Uh, Lyrically, I feel like there's so much more to that track. I mean, again, with the beat switch, the different time periods, what the song says about Kendrick, formatively, like it's such an immense song. And that is the bottom left quadrant. All right, we're blazing, we're blazing. All right, ended up going with DNA over Michael Jordan. Kind of really no contest there. I mean, DNA is one of the greatest bangers on Damn, one of my favorite Damn tracks. Ended up going with Levitate over These Walls. Honestly, I do like These Walls a lot, but I don't know, the sad kind of woozy flow on Levitate, the hooky refrain, the kind of lo-fi griminess of the instrumental. Like, while I do like the funk and the sensuality and the sexiness of These Walls, there's just something amazingly dark about Levitate that I find exciting. Still Untitled Unmastered. It's a great record. It's a great record. Do not count it out, even though it's kind of like officially like a bit of a B-sides thing. Ended up going with Blow My High over King's Dead because la-di-da-di-da slob on me knob. So there's really no contest there. Went with Swimming Pools over You Ain't Gotta Lie, mostly because I feel like it's a better single track, more memorable cut, and I like the sentiment. I like the message of the song quite a bit. I think it's one of Kendrick's smarter tracks. Not that I think it takes a whole lot of thinking to come to the conclusion that he does on that song, but I think it was very smart and interesting of him to kind of frame the track in the way that he did so that it sounded like it was a drinking song when in fact it's a song about basically not, killing yourself with substances, but and also, kind of dealing with unhappiness and depression. Next, I ended up going with Feel over Compton. I do like Compton, but to me it's just kind of like a track that if Good Kid, Mad City is a movie, Compton is the track that the credits roll to. It's a good track. It's hard hitting. It's fun. It's exciting. It's a great finish. But to me, the lyrical and the vocal performance on Feel is so much more emotionally immense. To me, Feel is kind of on the same level as like You. Maybe not as crazy. I mean, if I had to pick between Feel and You, I would pick You. But to me, Feel is very similar in that it's almost like we feel Kendrick trapped in a very negative point at a very negative emotional peak, and he's like trying to process that almost like in real time. So I kind of ended up going with that track because to me it's so much more emotionally cutting. Next, Element and Now or Never. I ended up going with Element because Now or Never it's a decent track, but it's just kind of a Good Kid bonus track. Not one of my favorites. So I went with Element. Supremely catchy track. Take me out my element. Untitled O2 versus Institutionalized. As fully fleshed out as Institutionalized is, I did end up going with Untitled O2. I do think it is kind of a freakier, more eccentric, brighter track that says some more interesting things about society and race than I think Institutionalized does. I've always wished Institutionalized was a little bit bolder, like a little bit more eccentric, a little bit louder. To me, Untitled O2 brings the excitement that Institutionalized doesn't necessarily. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe over Mortal Man. I mean, it's so much more compelling and memorable of a track. Mortal Man is decent, but I feel like a lot of the time it just kind of boils down to the Tupac conversation, which at first, the first time I heard it, it did fucking blow my mind. I was like, what the fuck's going on here? What the hell is happening? What's happening? Ended up going with DNA over Levitate. Total banger. Can't really deny it. And I think it does a lot to set the tone for Damn, and I think it brings a lot of the themes of the record into one hard-hitting track that is super gratifying and pretty smart as well. Ended up going with Swimming Pools over Blow My High. Ended up going with Feel over Element. As catchy and as fun as I think Element is, again, to me, Feel is the more immense lyrical and vocal performance. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe over O2, just more superior songwriting, production on that song. Ended up going with Feel over Don't Kill My Vibe. Ended up going with Swimming Pools over DNA. And finally, in the top right bracket, I went with Feel. I did go with Feel because in comparison with Swimming Pools, I love Swimming Pools. I think it's good. I've always found the hook on there a little bit grating. And lyrically, I don't find it to be as profound as Feel. You know, I think Feel is one of Kendrick's more profound tracks. I think it's an underrated damn track, personally. And I see nothing wrong with it ending up toward the end here in this bracket, given what it had to contend with. Honestly, to me, it is the best track in this section. So, all right, now we're going to go to the bottom right quadrant. Bottom right, we're almost done. All right, let's do it. Love versus Ignorance is Bliss. That was kind of hands down Ignorance is Bliss, since Love is my least favorite damn track. I just cannot stand the Kendrick's voice on that track, Zakari's voice on that track. There's very little about that song that I can actually tolerate. Next over here, this is Miserable. Because these are two tracks that I did not want to see go against each other so early in the bracket, because High Power is easily like top 3 songs off of Section 80. So it's an amazing track. Like, it's a great track. I, again, hate to throw it out so early, but Wesley's Theory is such a great song. I love what George Clinton does on that track. I love Thundercat's bass lines. The beat is incredible. The background vocals are so eccentric and crazy. It's an overwhelming song and a very exciting beginning to an incredible record. Shireen versus Ya is hands down just Shireen, because Ya to me is one of the most boring tracks on Damn. It just, to me, still to this day feels like a filler song. Complexion over Triple X, which has kind of waned on me since I initially listened to Damn. I just feel like it's kind of an overrated cut. I mean, it does have a decent beat switch and everything, but I find Bono's contributions to the song really boring, and if you could even call it a contribution at this point. And I don't know. I feel like narratively, Kendrick is almost kind of, I don't know, repeating himself on the song a little bit. Like, I don't feel like he's saying anything that he hasn't said before, in a way. So, I don't know. It's just not really that significant of a track to me. Moving on from there, but to not just, throw XXX out the window. I mean, I do feel like Complexion is one of the better, smoother, sexier, and most interesting songs on To Pimp a Butterfly. Definitely a sweet track, dealing with race and color and so on and so forth. You guys have heard the track. Next, another 2 tracks that I think are both incredible standouts on their respective records, Fear and How Much a Dollar Cost. To me, Fear is almost up there with Feel, because there is kind of that intensity, that emotional intensity, that great lyricism about the topic at hand, and also just the sense of kind of being trapped in a very negative feeling, a very negative emotion. However, I mean, How Much a Dollar Cost, that's such an amazing story on such a fantastic Kendrick album. Like, I can't really say anything bad about How Much a Dollar Cost. Fear, to me, instrumentally, is maybe not as ambitious, narratively, not as creative, but it's still a great track. But How Much a Dollar Cost, like, goddamn. Like, the whole idea of helping out people who have less than you, and, potentially that affecting whether or not you're going to see paradise in the afterlife, and Kendrick's interaction with this homeless person, and sort of the side of him, the greedy side of him that he shows, the thoughtless side of him that he shows, the lesson that he learns. Like, it's such an interesting song. Which, I think it's a song. It's one of his songs that to me really kind of says the most about him as an artist, T-Pab as an album, the kind of themes and ethics that you see running throughout nearly all Kendrick Lamar songs. All Right and For Free is another hard pick, mostly because I find For Free to be one of the most enigmatic, exciting, and interesting performances on the entire record. Originally, I did end up going with All Right. I feel like it's the better song. It is the better song. All Right is the better song. But For Free is maybe I'm gonna go with For Free now. Even though I picked All Right earlier, I'm gonna go with For Free because I think it's the more exciting track. And no matter which one of these tracks I pick, the next bracket's gonna play out the same way anyway. So next, The Recipe and I ended up going with I. I think The Recipe is very good, but the live version of I on TPAB is just better. If we're talking the studio version, I'd probably go with The Recipe. But if we're talking live version of I, with the crowd altercation toward the end and everything, I'm going with the I. And Loyalty and Po Man's Dreams, his Vice, I actually end up going with Loyalty. The hook on that track has grown on me a little bit. I do love the Rihanna feature quite a bit. I just still kind of find Kendrick's rapping on that song to be a little underwhelming. And, regardless, in the next bracket, I is going to win. How Much a Dollar Cost wins past there, because that track's just amazing. Ended up going with Shireen over Complexion, Wesley's Theory over Ignorance is Bliss, and then Wesley's Theory, Shireen. If we're purely going off what is the better intro track, it's going to be Wesley's Theory, like hands down. And How Much a Dollar Cost and I, it's kind of How Much a Dollar Cost. It kind of is. And then past that, I ended up going with How Much a Dollar Cost. So our last four songs I've gone with here essentially are King Kunta, Feel, How Much a Dollar Cost, Mad City, which I'm pretty happy about. Like, Feel, to me, again, one of the most incredible tracks on Damn. King Kunta, incredible single, fantastic track, super catchy, super funky, exciting. Can't really turn down most of the refrains and hooks off of that track. And Mad City, again, in my opinion, I guess basically given how things have turned out, to me, I guess the best track to me on Good Kid, Mad City. It was a really hard pick, but I ended up going with Mad City over King Kunta because, again, I feel like technically, structurally, it does so much more than King Kunta does. King Kunta's kind of funky. However, in comparison, I guess I do find some of Kendrick's recycling of lyrics on the track a little redundant. And as much as I do love Feel, I ended up going with How Much a Dollar Cost over Feel because narratively it's just so much more interesting of a song. And here we have our last two picks, which I have not picked yet. I've not picked who's going to be the winner yet, just like all my previous brackets. So, Mad City. The beat switch is so amazing. Oh, the tale of Kendrick's youth is so compelling. And I love the way that the instrumentals bits kind of transport me to different eras in hip hop. And How Much a Dollar Cost is just such an on the edge of my seat story. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna go with How Much a Dollar Cost. It's just so much more meaningful and significant of a track to me. And to me, while Mad City says a lot about Kendrick's upbringing and his youth, and basically like what helped form him as an artist and inform his worldview. To me, How Much a Dollar Cost pretty much like is that worldview. To me, How Much a Dollar Cost says so much more about Kendrick's philosophy and the philosophy in his music in general. Whereas Mad City, it's great, amazing song, but it feels like just kind of a mere sliver, just like a peek into the window of that view. How Much a Dollar Cost to me feels like like almost like a full peek into that window. And obviously, fantastically performed, fantastically written, fantastically produced, and yeah, just all around amazing track. So there you go. Maybe not the most exciting pick to some people because it doesn't have a whole lot of single power. But to me, How Much a Dollar Cost is one of one of Kendrick's most significant tracks, conceptually, which I've already said. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that, again, not a lot of single power, but Kendrick isn't necessarily just an artist merely based on singles. To me, the most profound and most amazing moments I've had with Kendrick records have been with the songs that are deeper cuts, have been with the songs that sound better in the context of the entire record because there's so much more meaning to them surrounded by the other songs on the album. And How Much a Dollar Cost certainly reflects that. So, all right, and that has been my Kendrick Madness bracket, guys. Thank you very much for watching. You're the best. Hope you enjoyed this. And I will catch you in another video. Forever.